so I'll come up with the title next. But instead of me doing a pre-recorded video today, like I have a long list of things, like video topics to record on, but I had an experience day before yesterday and I wanted to share it because in me sharing my journey of being daddy's little girl, just learning how to discern God's voice better and also learning to be obedient to his voice and going after the goals and things that I have in life, right? I've been sharing that, but I also not just want to share just like the overall type of topic, but I want to like really share in a way where you are actually experiencing some of these things with me, almost like the behind the scene type of things that I want to share. And so this is sort of what this video is. And so talk back to me in the comments after this video. Let me know just some of the questions that I may ask along the way. Give me an answer in a comment. Let me know if this is something you have experienced before. So with one of the things that I am working on, in addition to being like swift, in addition to swift obedience, I'm also working on showing up for myself, being consistent in doing the things, right? And so I have dealt a lot throughout my life with starting something and then stopping, starting something, um, difficulty will come up and then I will talk myself out of it. Overthinking is also something that I am currently, I'd say I'm currently still dealing with overthinking. But it has been getting better as I have been leaning on God and trusting God more. And one of the things that God showed me is that one, I stand in my own way when I overthink, which is also part of self-sabotaging. And my overthinking makes me think that I am missing out on a piece of the puzzle to achieve the goal or do whatever it is that I need to do. However, I'm not missing out anything. I have everything that I need. And so recently, when I hopped back on YouTube, one of my goals, well, my goal for being back on YouTube is challenge myself and to share video every day for a certain amount of days. And then once I have achieved that goal, I'll go to doing one video a week. And the reason why I challenge myself is for me to build discipline, and for me to be diligent and to learn to be consistent. So that's why I challenge myself. And it is a challenge because I am a mom and we have a full house, okay? We have a lot of kids. And so we have business that we're running, right? And so we have like all of these things. Kids are in sports. Even now, once I get off this live, I am about to go to my oldest daughter. She has a baseball game today, and so I'm going to be going to that. And so that is a challenge to record and upload a video every day for a specific amount of time, which is why you will see a lot of my videos, they are not edited. There's mistakes and stuff in there. You get the raw, you get everything, right? But I want to share a particular experience that I overcame, that in the past I wasn't able to overcome it. Just in case on this journey of you trying to learn self-discipline, let go of self-sabotaging and be consistent in achieving your goals, in case you encounter that, you have an idea of how to address something like that. And I will share what happened and I will share what that situation taught me. So it was on, because today's Thursday, yesterday Wednesday. So I believe Tuesday, it was on Tuesday. And so on Tuesday, it was a bit of a busy day for me. And my husband came home early on Tuesday. I had an online class, and then after that class, there was the women meeting at church. And then one of my a friend of mine was also having a women meeting at her church. She's running a small group and at her church. And then my husband came home early. And I also had to record for YouTube. So I had all of that going on. And I wanted to spend a little bit more time with my husband because usually most times he comes home late and also he's traveling as well too. He was traveling in a couple of days, and so I battle with, I want to show up for my friend, I want to be there for her, but I also know the type of friend that I have, she understands family, she understands priorities, so she would have been okay with me not being able to show up so I could spend some time with my husband. So all right, I went ahead and I messaged her and I told her, like, I'm sorry I couldn't go. I, but encourage her, and I knew everything was going to be awesome. And I just let her know that I was spending more time with my husband. She was fine with it because I know we do that for each other, all the time, right? So then the second part was to record the YouTube video. So most of my videos are recorded the very same day. I think once I was able to record like 3 videos ahead of time, well, 2, because one was for that day and 2 in advance. That was last week, right? So I'm recording every single day so far, all of these videos that you've been seeing. And it's in between of me working things out with the kids, asking the kids to look after the baby, all of those things, right? And so I was already tired. It was late. And so I was like, I need to record. I've made a commitment to upload, to share a video, every single day. For a certain amount of days. And so, but I also want to go spend more time with my husband. We really don't get to spend this much time together because of his work hours. And so after beating myself up, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna skip posting today, right? But I'm gonna do some shorts instead. So I posted about 2 shorts. I was gonna do more, and then um YouTube was like, YouTube was like, no. And the thing kept lagging and lagging and lagging. And so, but I wasn't satisfied with the fact that I did show up. Even though I didn't show up in the way that I intended to show up, I did show up. I posted something. I posted a video. I posted 2 shorts, even though it wasn't a long form video, right? So all of that was troubling me in my mind. And part of the things that kept coming up was like, hey, God, am I going back to my old patterns of me starting something before and not finishing it, right? It was like, hey God, am I now starting to get in my own way, like not being obedient to what you're saying? Like all of these thoughts started to come in my head from that decision that I made. And I would say almost like beat myself up for it, but I was eventually able to like get through that thought process easily and spend that time with my husband, and we were able to like watch a movie together, right? And but what I learned from that experience when I reflected back on it, which is what I want to share, is that in the past when I had situation like that, I would then use that as a way to talk myself out of finishing, because it'll be like, well, what's the point of still going forward if you like you already stopped, like you said you were going to post this amount of days and you didn't, so like what's the point? You might as well give up now, right? So those type of thoughts will pop up for me in the past, and I will end up talking myself out of moving forward and keep going, because I would feel like I have already filled at the goal, right? But this time, thank God that didn't happen, that I was able to bounce back and looked at that as just a shift in the road, just a pivot. It wasn't a stop. Me not being able to share a long form video was not a stop in the goal that I set. It was just a shift in the road. But I was able to see it and acknowledge it as that this time, whereas before in past experiences, I was not able to. So I want to encourage you that if you're going through a certain similar situation where you have a pivot in the road, a setback, whatever it is, don't look at that as a stop. Don't allow the enemy to convince you to give up on whatever it is you're doing because of that. Another thing is, as well as when you set these goals, um, I don't know if you heard of SMART goals before, but I love them because it talks about it being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, right? And so sometimes we set goals, I don't want to say unrealistic, but they are like way too big for where we are, that we have to kind of like cut it down into pieces. But instead of cutting it down into pieces and working on that goal step by step, we try to achieve the big thing all at once, right? And so therefore, when is obstacle or whatever come in the way where it's harder for us to achieve that big goal, then we give up, versus actually scaling back and looking at it and saying, hey, what's the, what's wrong? Why can't I do this thing? What is the issue? And then if we evaluate, we'll be able to figure out and say, hey, maybe I have to do step 1 and 2 first before I try to do step 5, right? And so whatever goals you're working on, try to structure it in a way where you are doing bits and pieces of it and not trying to work out the whole thing all at once. The other thing that stood out for me in that situation was consistency, because something I'm working on in this season is to be consistent. I want to make sure that I am continuously working towards the things that I need to work towards, and I'm not starting and stopping and starting and stopping. Again, those are old patterns from that I have did before in my past, and I'm trying to be better than that, right? However, consistency looks different for everyone. And so for some people, when they think of consistency, let's say when it comes to like this whole YouTube posting thing, to them, consistency is being able to post like every single day, being able to show up through, let's say, long form video, right? And so that's how I was kind of looking at it, but I had to reevaluate what consistency was for me, because my goal was to show up, like every single day for this time period that I set, not necessarily a specific way of how I show up, right? And so I was falling back into that pattern of, oh, it had to be a specific way in order for it to be consistent. And no, so you have to understand, based on the goal that you're working on, your true definition of what consistency look like. And it's so interesting that I'm having this conversation today about just consistency and being persistent, because I listened to 2 of my other videos today. One was you have what it takes to achieve your goal, and the other one was, I think, like 3 tips to help you achieve your goal, something like that, right? Those 2 videos. And it was around this topic. And so it encouraged me, it motivated me. One of them even convicted me also, like all in one. And so I just wanted to hop on here today. That's my encouragement for you. Keep going, whatever goal it is that you're working towards, keep going. Define your goal and completely understand it and break it up into steps so that you don't overwhelm yourself and you don't set yourself up for failure. Because when we don't break things down into bite-sized pieces, we set ourselves up for failure when we try to target the whole thing all at once, right? So set yourself up for success instead of failure, as well as, if consistency is something that you are desiring to be better at, truly define what consistency look like for you, not for other people, for you and that particular goal, because consistency in one goal may be different in another. Okay, so that is my video for today. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching, sharing my videos and all of those things. I truly encourage it. Appreciate it. And leave me in a comment. Let me know, like, what are you working towards? Do you struggle with being consistent, being persistent? What type of challenges are you facing when it comes to your goal? Talk back to me and let me know, so I'm not just out here by myself, okay? And y'all, if you watched yesterday's video, I share how I got a printed version of the journal that I wrote. I created for kingdom-driven women. I created a prayer journal for kingdom-driven women. If you are a kingdom-driven woman, and if you love the prayer journal or you want to get into prayer journaling, check the link in the description box of this video and check out our digital prayer journal. And look, this is what it looks like. Isn't that so beautiful? It is so beautiful. I had to share that real quick. And get it for somebody who likes to journal. If you don't like to journal, be a blessing to someone. Thank you, and bye-bye.